the gay marriage ban.
So kudos to your
Wait,
incredible
you were against Von Walker, right?
Yeah. But that said, you write in the oath, right, that Obama cared much more about elections than about judicial selections. Is that going to continue in a second term? Because this is such a crucial issue.
Yes,
as you say.
and this is something that Nan and I have talked about, and it is really one of the great mysteries, paradoxes of the Obama administration.
Con law professor, not so interested.
Not con law professor. I mean, just as a factual matter, Obama has not nominated all the judges he could to fill the vacancies on the court. Now, in fairness. And to go further than that, not only has Obama not nominated that, he hasn't talked about the issue of judicial confirmations. He hasn't talked about the Constitution. Now, in fairness, too, he's had a busy 4 years. He's had a lot on his plate, and I think he's had a very consequential presidency. What particularly surprises me is that after the midterm elections, when clearly the House was a lost cause, the Senate has to vote on judges at some point, and not to fill the pipeline with them is very surprising. He did care deeply about his 2 Supreme Court nominees, and I think he had very successful nominees, and that was a good process, good result. But, I mean, since this is an issue you live with, why assess Obama and the lower courts?
Well, one argument you make, which I've seen also reported other places, is that he doesn't want to see the courts as engines of social change. He wants to see Congress assume that role, not the courts. But you know what? The fact of the matter is, when all is said and done, so much of what Obama wants and so many of his initiatives will find themselves being litigated in front of circuit courts that don't have enough Obama appointees. So we've seen already in an SEC case brought by the Business Roundtable on challenging the Dodd-Frank, a regulation of Dodd-Frank, he lost.
There
Obama
are 4
lost.
vacancies now on the D.C. circuit. Obama
circuit
is the only judge in recent American history to have 0 of his appointees on the D.C. circuit.
So, we all find this so shocking because we deeply care about this, and it's sort of, we take it personally, I think. I know I do. But also, it simply reflects the degree of importance the country places on these circuit courts. The country doesn't know that there are circuit courts. They don't understand the way it all works, and they're not so interested. So it's not a political
actually, you know what?
priority.
I don't agree with that. I think Republicans care a lot. I think Republicans in the Senate care a lot.
They're better about making the case.
No, but I mean,
true.
and also, they are willing to obstruct in a way that Democrats weren't willing to obstruct. So I think there's a real imbalance here between the parties. I mean, the Republicans just care more about these issues. I think all of us remember hearing George W. Bush say, I want judges who will decide cases, not legislate from the bench. This was something he said a lot. Now, whether you agree or disagree with what he said, just the fact that he was talking about judges is different from what Obama has done.
But this isn't in a vacuum, right? I mean, the standard explanation for why the right is better at mobilizing around judges is Roe versus Wade, that when you've lost this, issue which remains a crucible for your base, then you're motivated to do something about it, and that there's a sense of sitting back and not really seeing a great danger in letting the courts change on the left. And then until something dramatic goes the wrong way, there will be this kind of lethargy. I mean,
what do you think, man? No, you answer. Don't. You deal with this. Why do, you have deal with the senators all the time on these issues. You deal with the White House. So what's the answer? Why do Democrats care less?
They have never cared as much as the Republicans cared
and
about
why is that?
judicial
Why is that?
nominations.
Is that because of Roe v. Wade?
It's even before that. It's 1954
You're not
with
that
Brown.
old. You don't know.
Hey.
Come on.
I was
She's
around.
read her history.
Hey. Brown versus Board of Education,
Brown.
Roe versus Wade, the right. Remember, after Brown came out, there were bumper stickers that appeared in the South, impeach Earl Warren. And from that time on, modern court packing began to take hold. And you had Republican presidents, led by Ronald Reagan, who made it his primary cause. Now, I think we have an opportunity. And I think we have an opportunity to change the conversation a little, because this court is going to has taken up 2 very important race cases. One involving affirmative action at our nation's universities, and just a few weeks ago, the court granted cert in a case challenging Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act.